How should guys show interest on a date without coming across as too needy? Very special video with a very special guest today. We have TextGod coach Justin flying into Amsterdam all the way from Canada.
Super wild because this is the first time I've actually met Louis, and it's been like 2 years, 3 years almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
2 years that we're coaching guys all across the world together. And this week Justin flew in because we had kind of like a worldwide boot camp. Guys from all of the world flew in. We coached them for a week and we thought it was the best time ever to do it.
So good. So good.
Oh, the week was the best time ever.
The week was good.
As well.
And this next coming thing is going to be also good.
Yeah. Like, how do you show you want someone without it being too much or scaring her away or her feeling like you can't live without her?
Right. Especially on that first date, because that is usually a make or break point in any kind of relationship, right?
Yeah.
Showing that intent, showing that you are interested but not being too interested.
Yeah. You're on a first date, it's a girl you really like, and you don't want to be friend zoned. You've been there. You want to show that you like her, but you don't want to be needy. What does my guy do?
Let's start with some of the easier ones.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you can really do on a date to show interest or show intent without being needy or overbearing is just having good eye contact. And when we say good eye contact, we're also talking about the right kind of eye contact.
Yeah, because it's like, oh yeah, eye contact. I already know that.
Right.
But trust us, we've coached so many guys and they think they know how to do eye contact, but they don't know how to do eye contact. I feel like a lot of guys, when they hear good eye contact, they either turn into some sort of stare down.
Yeah.
And they're looking
like
at her
this.
like way too much. Like, kind of weird.
I'm gonna kill you.
That's what she feels like. Fuck, he's actually considering it.
Yeah.
Or another really good one that Dan brought up is they make and break eye contact all the time. It's kind of like this.
Yeah.
And he brought up a really good point. It's hard to not be sort of needy, because if I'm like looking at you, the girl, and then I'm like looking sideways and somewhere else, you get all these stimuli from everywhere and it's just so much, and that makes you more nervous. Your brain's already kind of in overdrive. Not helpful at all, but very concrete tip.
Yeah.
How would you do it?
How would I do a good eye contact? So for me, there's really two ways that you can have good eye contact. One is the way that I kind of like to do, and I think one is the way that you prefer doing. So for me, when I do eye contact, I really just look at the person directly in their eye. I might look away here and there if I'm thinking about a topic or I'm trying to explain something. But generally, it's just I look at them. But I look at them, and this is something that a date had told me in the past, but I look at them like I really want them, and I'm really paying attention. Like I'm there, I am present, and they can feel that, and that builds a really strong connection. Another way, if you want to phrase it differently, is looking at them like you want to devour them. Yeah,
I think that's a good tip. Also, sometimes a good tip for photo shoots, like look in the lens and think of some really hot stuff that you would do to someone to sort of convey that vibe. But you don't do that all the time, right?
No, not at all. There's ebbs and flows into it. But if I'm paying attention, and I'm going to look at the camera now to try to give you an example, like this would be normal eye contact. And this coming right now would be intent eye contact.
It's so funny when you have to do it.
So subtle, right?
But it's so funny when you have to do it not on a date here in the camera.
Oh, we're on a date.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you didn't look at me.
You're paying.
No, but that's a good one. And I'll immediately chip in because I know what Justin's going to say with my type of eye contact, because we discussed it over breakfast yesterday. I'm like, I'm not thinking of it at all, but I did become aware that when someone asks me something, like just like I was doing now, if you ask me something and I'm thinking about it, I'm not looking you in the eye. It's just a natural thing that you're looking at the side and I'm explaining, but I'm sort of looking around, thinking about it. You know, I see the visuals in my head. I'm processing the whole thing. And then once I've really, it's like the end of my answer or whatever, I'll look back at you. But just as you said, it's not like a dead stare. It's like full attention to you. Yeah. Well, very good. That covers a bunch of stuff with yeah, everything related to eye contact, I'd say, for the topic of showing interest,
Of course,
without being needy.
Yeah.
What else?
One other really easy thing to implement, and it's almost more of a thing that you don't need to do or stop doing, is constantly trying to force some kind of interaction or outcome.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, there's probably a lot of you out there who are like, I need to touch her, or I need to say something funny constantly, or like, I need to, I don't know, go for the kiss, even maybe when she's not quite ready.
Very good one. I hear it from guys all the time. That the idea is somewhere in their head, and the whole date it's kind of lingering and it's shining through 20%. Like you're talking, you're the girl you're talking, and they're like, I need to kiss her at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I've even heard, hell, I've even done it myself before, where I thought I had to sit beside a girl because that was like easier or made a better connection. But as soon as it felt forced or awkward or outside of social norms, I was done. It was over, even if in that one small instance, because it's so needy, because you're so desperate to get some sort of validation or positive outcome from this girl. So it's just things you don't need to do. Let it happen as naturally as possible.
Yeah. So I guess if we try to turn it to a more concrete tip for the guy watching, then I'd say forget that you need to do anything at all. Forget I need to touch her. Forget I need to kiss her, and try to show up at a date. Next time you're gonna just be there. Just try to be there when she's listening. Actively listen. When she's speaking, actively look at her, and go from there. Sounds almost overly simple, but it's probably a very good experience for you.
And I think that actually does lead into our next tip, which is like actively listening, paying attention. Because if you can bring up little pieces of conversation that you've had with this girl 5-10 minutes ago, and bring it up and show her that you remember what she talked about, whether she says she likes, I don't know, burrata cheese, and you bring up, there's a cool burrata place that you had a week ago, like farther along in the conversation, she'd be like, oh, this guy's paying attention to me. He's interested.
Yeah.
And that is just, again, showing her that you are interested without
showing her you can't live without her or whatever. But you paid attention. The things she says matter to you because you remember them, and the next time you can still weave them into the convo. Man, it's so good. Yeah. Tough one for me because I have horrible memory. But yeah, it's good. And the look of surprise on a girl's face, like, you remembered that.
It's very small, but girls like that sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Next one I think is giga crucial. And it's like all the nice guys, they're messing it up. It is not being a yes man. Not agreeing to everything. Agreeing is completely fine if you actually agree. But, and I think your hot smart girl brought that up as well as other girls brought it up. They just hate the guy who's like, yes, 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 yes.
She even told me that sometimes she will purposely say something that's like super wrong just to see if this guy is going to agree with her or not.
Yeah.
And if he does, he's out. It's over. And
Yeah.
she's like, this guy's has no spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, and this is the point where guys are watching and they'll never trust women again. Shit. This is how these things are born, these
She's
pick up
testing
things.
me.
Like, she's shit. Everything's a shit test. I'm going to pass this shit test. And then she's like, yeah, I kind of like dogs. And I go, that's a shit test. I fucking hate those monsters. They're not to be trusted. No, yeah, but that's so good. It's tough for some guys, but if you have a different opinion than the girl that you are so interested in, then state it.
Yeah.
She's gonna love you more rather than hate you for it.
Every single time. And there's ways. You don't have to be rude or condescending if you disagree with her.
Wrong, dumb bitch. The correct version, I don't think I agree with that.
Yeah. Like even the other day, I had a conversation where this girl was very adamant that cream soda was green.
Cream soda?
Cream soda, like a soda pop. Cream soda.
We don't have that in Amsterdam. I don't know what that is.
You do, but in Canada, cream soda is pink or red.
Oh.
And so I was like, no, that's not true. And so we had to do a whole Google search and everything. It turns out we were both half correct and half incorrect.
Yeah.
It's just different countries. But still, even just standing by that shows that at least you have your own opinions and your own person at that point.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You brought up one more point after you came back from your date that I thought was very good about pushing boundaries.
Yeah. And it kind of goes into what we talk about in the TextGod mentoring program on like leading.
Yeah.
And this is going to be things like planning out the date, taking care of the small details, that sort of thing. And basically pushing the courtship process along as far as you can. And then whenever you reach a point where it's maybe too far for her or too much, she will let you know.
I like that a lot. I think we need to slightly clarify with... You push it forward until she's like, you reach her barrier, whatever her limit.
Like she sets the pace of the courtship process.
She sets the pace, but you push it forward as far as her pace allows.
Yeah. And even doing that, that shows you're interested, but you're not trying to overstep any bounds or go too far past what she's comfortable with.
And I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
As guys take the lead, but she decides how fast we're allowed to lead.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Like she's the brake pedal and we're the gas.
Could you turn that into a specific example?
Yeah. So let's say you want to go for the kiss on the date, and let's say it's 10 minutes into the date and you want to kiss this person. That might be perfect for you, but maybe she isn't ready for that. So let's say you go for the kiss and she's like, no, I'm not ready yet. Cool. You continue on with the date, you have fun, you talk, you flirt, you tease. 2 hours go by. And now let's say she's ready for the kiss, and you can go for the kiss and you get together, you swirl your tongues around, but everything is okay at that point because now she's at the point where she is ready and you can continue forward, if that makes sense.
But I think with your last date, that was pretty good. Like you repeatedly kind of pushed it forward. You were setting up the dates. During the date, you took the lead. You moved around the city. And then she made it clear, like, okay, I liked... And you even showed interest to sleep over or whatever. And she's like, I'm not ready there. Mm-hmm. So then you stay on that level. Your vibe shows that you are still ready to go to the next space, but you want, like, you don't force it at all. Only when she's suddenly signing, like, okay, now we can go to the next one. Boof, you take her there. I hope these tips were helpful. For a full first day breakdown for a mentee with a field report, check out this video. And please consider subscribing, or else
Canada is going to halt all maple syrup exports to the whole world.
Horrible.